to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the CELICA. We're going to see if I can actually improve the look of this driver's seat. So you may have seen on a previous video I actually repaired this bolster here. It has actually gone a little bit shiny, it's got a few little nicks and scars in it again. I'll pop a link below if you haven't seen that. Might be interested to have a look at that because there was quite a bad tear here. Still a little bit of a mark there, but I'm going to see if I can improve this a little bit by getting rid of some of the shine and making it look less plasticky. Also, you can see on the driver's bolster here on this base part, it's actually all the dye starting to crack off. It's starting to wear. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to see if I can improve it and re-dye the actual leather of the kit I've got. It's just a few different parts and kits I've actually got over the last couple of months. I've tried a little bits and pieces. This one was the original one when I got the repair. Just finished a little bit shiny, so I've actually got a matting agent somewhere in the slot. There's the glue. There we go. Yep, and there's the matting agent. So you can put that over the top and it should bring it more like the actual passenger seat. You see the passenger seat's got more of a satiny matte finish rather than this high gloss finish. That's on this one. It does get a little bit more wear, this seat of course. So I'm going to see if I can actually clean it all up, improve the actual look of it, and just generally give it a bit of a refresh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a good clean first, probably with a little bit of Auto Finesse leather seat cleaner, and then we'll give it a wipe down with some alcohol. We'll give it a light sand, probably like a 500 grit or even a 400 grit, and then we'll give it another wipe with alcohol, and then we'll begin dyeing. So I'll grab some bits and pieces and we'll get started. So first of all I'm just going to give the seats a light clean with some leather cleaner. Any leather cleaner will probably do it. Just to remove any grease and dirt before we start doing any actual dyeing. And I'll just go over with a paper towel. It's actually fetching some of the dye off already from the old stuff. Now we're going to take the alcohol wipe. Let's give it a bit of a clean with that. Again, just with a bit of paper towel. Again, this is to remove any oils and greases so the actual dye will soak into the leather better. See, it's this most of this bolster here and this little area, the main seating areas, which are showing the wear. So hopefully this dye will improve it. But you don't get more of this in the kit. I suppose you're supposed to use it sparingly. For the next step, I'm just going to give all the areas I want to actually pay some attention to and smooth out a little bit with a little bit of 400. It's just a little bit wet and dry. I'm going to sand these back. And what you can do if you get any really deep cracks or scratches, you can fill them, like in the previous video I did on here, with this little filler. It's just like an automotive body filler. It's like I think it's a PVC based filler. You can just put it in and you'll spread it over the cracks like that and you'll fill all the little cracks in. But then you have to wait for this to dry or use a hairdryer to dry it over. And it'll just fill in the cracks. But I'll continue sanding first and then we'll do a little bit of that. Then we'll let that dry and we'll put some stain on there. Getting ahead of myself. So there's quite a tear there, so I might put a little bit of filler in there, see if I can repair that a little bit. This one's not so bad, a bit hard. It needs a bit more treatment. Right, in this area here I want to pay some attention to. Okay, as you can see on camera, it's quite shiny there. Makes it look a little bit plasticky, so I want to try and get rid of that. It was quite a bad tear there. It was a few years ago I actually did the repair, for a couple of years now, so it has held up quite well. It's just I want to make it look a little bit nicer. A few little scratches there. Wipe. It'd probably be easier to actually take the seat out and do this than doing it in the car. You could probably make a nicer job of it, strip all the plastics off and give it a really good treatment then, but I'll just try and do it in the car I think today. See all the alcohol gone, didn't last long, fully evaporated. Alcohol never seems to last long in our house. Okay. So next step, I'm going to put a little bit of filler in these cracks here and down there on the bolster. Again, like I say, it's just a really fine, almost like a car filler, you know, body filler. I just like to just scrape it on. Just got this like palette knife. I think I got this online for oil painting and stuff. Doesn't actually come with the kit. Something like that. Let's give you a closer look so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to slightly skim it over and fill some of the cracks in. Don't go too mad. Then we'll let this dry 10-15 minutes. We'll give it another sand and a clean. We should hopefully be then ready for dyeing. Trying to get rid of all the actual cracks and marks, and it's want to make it still look like leather, not like a just sheet of plastic, so I want to leave some of the actual grain in it. And there's some little marks there I want to get rid of. This is the actual main repair, like I said before, from previous. It's quite a warm day today, so hopefully this won't take long to dry. Trying to do it one-handed, it's a bit difficult. Yeah. So what you can do is let this dry. You can actually warm it up with the heat gun if you wanted to, and then add more and build it up. Get rid of holes and cracks slowly but surely, like you can with any sort of car body repair. something like that. I think it's the shine on this that's making it look worse than it actually is, so I'll try that matting agent that I got. I've tried it on a little area as a test piece, as you do, and it seems to work alright, so hopefully it will improve this section there. Right, so that's the main section, and I want to just do a little bit in there as a slight wear mark, just to strengthen it a little bit. Get a bit out of there. Find a way to keep it out of the actual seams. Makes your life easier when it dries. Something like that, I think, no more than that. Just in that little area there, so I'll let that dry. Then we'll give it a light sand. Start the dyeing process. Just enough little scars in there, just want to just fill in a little bit. That one there. Okay, leave that to dry for a good 10-15 minutes. I'm going to make a cup of tea. Still playing about with it, like I always do. A little bit there, look, see a little wear there. Cool, right, leave it, it says. Okay, leave that now. Like I say, leave it 10-15 minutes. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so it's been probably about 10, maybe 15 minutes. It seems to be nice and dry now, so I'm just going to give it another light sand, just remove any hide spots and imperfections, just to make it nice and smooth again. Nice spot there just come out. Something like that. This area here in the centre. Okay, so what we'll do now is give it another clean. All the alcohol I had has evaporated, so I'm going to actually just use a little bit of window cleaner. So just going to grab some of that. So I just use a little bit of glass cleaner because it's alcohol based, just to wipe off any excess. And like that. And get as much dirt off as I can. Rush hour. So probably not going to dye the back main part of the seat. I'm just going to leather treat that, I think. It's just this sort of the shiny section. So I'll just see if I can tilt the seat back a fraction so I can get into here. That's better. Okay, now is the fun part. So I bought this black dye the same time as I bought the actual kit. The kit comes with this black dye here, which is quite nice, but I think it's a little bit too dark. And I also got this other one from Furniture Clinic a long time ago, which has got a slightly greyer look. So I'm going to try and mix these two, if I can, to try and give it a more, because if you look, the leather's not actually fully black, it's more of a grey black, almost like a charcoal. So this one here you can see is a black. So just a nice old sponge, just dab it on, goes on quite thick. I'll get this for the main colour, then I'll go over the top with the grey one and sort of do a sort of a blend of both of them. So this one is quite a thick dye, almost like a paint. You could probably actually spray this on if you watered it down. So I think it's just water based. It's a water based dye. Definitely wear gloves though. If it will dye leather, it will dye your hands. Let's get some on there, and then we'll go over the top with the grey black. It's too shiny. I hate that shiny look. Looks cheap and nasty, so I'm just going to get rid of that as well today. Now the battery's just dying, so I'll swap the battery, let that dry, and then we'll go over with the other colour. So I've just dispensed a little bit of the actual grey black onto the actual seat itself. I'm just going to sort of dab this in, and sort of so I can tone down the actual black a little bit. When you go over the top of the matting agent as well, it brings the actual shine and the actual glossiness of the actual leather down a bit. It stops it looking as plasticky, if that's a word. It looks awful at the moment, I think you'll agree. That looks shocking. It does actually tone it down when you put the matting agent on top. So put a little bit more of that on. I'm running out of this as well, I'll have to do another order. As you can see, it's more of a grey black. Just tints down a little bit, mix it in with that. It's pretty much covered. Little hard spots I'm not happy with there, so I can just blend them in. Okay. Let's try a little bit on the matting agent just to see if I can tone that down a bit, see what it looks like with that, because that looks bloody awful. Okay, I believe that's a dry for 10-15 minutes. See what it looks like when it comes back. I don't like the shine on that at all. Now I must admit I did panic a little bit there. Might have gone a little bit too shiny. But it is actually dying down a little bit. As you can see, it's starting to go a little bit more matte. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more of the grey on here, because you can see there's like a definition line there. So I'm going to put some more grey on there, a little bit more matting agent, and I'm going to leave it overnight, I think, to really dry back before I put any more treatment on it. But yeah, I thought I'd knackered my seat up then. Thought I'd turned into a big glossy plastic mess. But it's actually going quite nice now. So touch wood, it should be all alright. So I shall do a bit more of that, like I say, the dyeing and matting agent, and what it looks like in the morning. So it's the next morning. As you can see, the seat is matted down quite considerably. This bit's not as glossy or shiny at all, still a little bit shinier than I'd like, but it matches the other side now. I think it's quite comparable to that side. That's quite nice. Really happy with that repair now. Brought some of the colour back to it. It's nice and soft as well. Leather feels lovely. I did go over this morning, about 2 hours ago, with the Autoglym leather balm. This is excellent stuff. Really brings your leather up nice and soft. The other Auto Finesse leather treatment is really nice, but gives a nice smell. But it doesn't seem to soften the leather, especially for older cars like this. It's about 15 years old now, so it's getting on a bit. So it's nice and soft now. I think it looks too bad. I did panic a little bit, like I said. I thought it was too glossy and plasticky looking, but I think that looks too bad. Of course, finishing touch to any leather interior. Little bit of dodo juice freshener, leather scented. Makes it smell all nice. So I think it came out alright actually in the end. Did panic, like I say. Almost thought it was going to be a massive fail, but it seemed to be alright. It seems to have worked out quite nicely. So I hope you found this video helpful and useful. If you have, please drop me a comment below. Like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.